Gonna be able to get it down. There it is after the attack speed goes away from the rider. All right, the sailor is doing a lot of work here. It's gonna be able to get a massive amount of value and damage. It's stacking up. We do get the stuns. Can the monk clear it out? There it is. Round 5, clutch victory for Enchatin. This new series on the channel, we are gonna be going over the top 3 best games of the previous week. All right, here we go. We are versing a battle machine player. Pay to win. Are we going to be able to win? We are using our monk deck here. We're going to be doing this as a new series on the channel, maybe every Monday, maybe every Tuesday. We're going to have to figure out exactly when we're going to do it, but I want to make a video where I have the best 3 games of the entire week, and I commentate over that. All right, in round number 1, we are going to be taking out his battle machine here, and we are going to have a monk that is going to go after his dark goblin. He opts to go with an elixir collector here, so the longer this match goes, the better of a chance he has of winning. Dark goblin here is going to be having the infinite range upgrade for him, and he is going to have a battle machine as well. Here with the gizmo, not upgrading anything yet. We are going to be opting with the 2nd star on my monk, as well as my villager with the 2nd ability. I think this is also going to be a really good series because it also teaches you, or it's going to be teaching you guys how to play the decks that I play, as I'm able to talk over the gameplay as instead of playing the actual game at that moment. Monk going to be getting the 2nd ability because he heals up. The longer the monk stays alive, the more supers the monk can put out, and the more supers the monk can put out, the more enemies I am able to eliminate, which is why I opted to go with the 2nd star ability here. Here in round number 3, we have a huge advantage. We know he's playing a sailor. We know he's playing a dark goblin with a hog rider. He has the rider buff. This sailor is going to be a huge problem. He has a sailor. You don't really see too many of these. I think this might be the 2nd sailor that I have ever seen inside of a Clash mini match besides the developer build. So we are going to have to navigate around this. He has a lot of elixir as well, 12, and as you can see, his pump is getting 1 elixir every 4 seconds, so he's gaining a ton of elixir here. My monk is going to be able to clear out his prince, going to be able to clear out his battle machine, going to be able to clear out his hog rider, but look at how much damage this sailor is doing. Like we said, the longer this game goes on, the more elixir he is going to have, and the harder it is going to be for me to be victorious. All right, so let's see what we are going to do here in round number 4. As he has the double rider, the sailor is really the biggest issue for us here. He's getting the super +2 damage stacks. He also has +4 damage ability onto the rider with the buff, and 30% attack speed for 6 seconds when casting abilities. So we are in a interesting situation here. We're going to be putting down our fisherman. Fisherman's just going to be here kind of just to protect my villager. That's kind of really the only goal it has. It's not really going to be able to stop anything as far as that's concerned. Monk is going to try to get value here. We actually got really in trouble right there, as his Dark Prince was able to connect to my Hog Rider, Monk, and Swordsman in that round number 4. Huge. I wouldn't even say it's a misplay for me, because it's kind of one of those Dark Prince hits 1 round, Dark Prince doesn't hit the 2nd round. So right now my Hog Rider is going to be able to get to the back line. Hopefully this Dark Prince misses this time, and we are then going to be able to clear him out. If his Dark Prince hits my minis in the front line, it's over. GG, well played. But my Electro Wizard is going to get upgraded here, and we are going to go for the home run swing. Hopefully my monk can carry me to victory. There it is. Hog Rider gets away. We just need to get off this super with our E-Wizard. Gonna struggle a little bit here to get off anything, but there it is. Gonna be able to get it down. There it is after the attack speed goes away from the Rider. All right, the Sailor is doing a lot of work here. It's going to be able to get a massive amount of value and damage. It's stacking up. We do get the stuns. Can the Monk clear it out? There it is. Round 5, clutch victory for Enchatin. All right, here we go. We have a Shield Maiden player versus a Grand Warden from myself. Using this Grand Warden Mage deck, we are playing July. He's playing the Shield Maiden. Let's see what we want to do in round number 1. Round number 1, I'm going to opt for a Wizard and an Ice Wizard with my Grand Warden here. Hopefully the Wizard is able to slow down this Shield Maiden enough to pick up a round 1 victory. Okay, Wizard's gonna take a little bit of damage there, but the shield from the Grand Warden hopefully is just able to protect this Wizard from eliminating itself with its super. Looking pretty good here as we are going to win round number 1. Round number 1 is gonna be going over to us here, but he does have a Giant, and this Giant is gonna have 1,000,000 HP in the later rounds. Mages do struggle with taking down a unit that has a ton of HP. We're going to be upgrading our Grand Warden here. Not really the greatest thing to do, but I wanted to make sure that I was able to get that Grand Warden upgraded, because sometimes you're not able to get a hero upgrade for a very, very long time, rolling it down when you want it. So I am going to make sure I get the first star onto the Grand Warden, which is going to be everything is shielded, gets rage. The reason why is because, you know, it would only be taking 8 damage away from a Giant, and that would never really take care of a Giant. So this is going to be the best possible thing I could do in this scenario, is the first upgrade on the Grand Warden. We now have a big problem. Princess is taking out my entire army. This is bad. It really does AoE damage, and it's really, really rough. There's 2 things I can do. I can spread out my troops, but the problem with spreading out my troops is it's not really the greatest when you're playing a Mage deck. So I really need to make sure that my Grand Warden gets off super, super, super to protect from this Princess, which is going to do a lot of damage. All right, we're just trying to get the stuns off here. Gonna be able to get down a little bit. Is it gonna be able to be enough in round number 3? We really need to win round number 3, and we do not. Oh no, this is now starting to be bad, but we are going to be getting a lot of elixir. We do have a Hog Rider, which can go over to this Princess and do work. We're going to have to figure out how we're going to navigate and how we are going to be able to win this round. Hog Rider is going to go right in front of this Giant so that he, if he wants to play a Prince behind, it's only going to hit half of the amount of time, and it's going to be pretty good for us. We're also going to put a Prince right in front of the Princess, which means we are going to be going for this Princess all out, hoping that we are going to be able to take her out before anything bad happens to us. All right, a lot of damage comes off. We do take out the Princess. That's exactly what we needed to do. The Giant falls as well, and we are going to easily win round number 4. Round number 5 is when it's going to get spicy. He's going to have 9 more elixir. He's going to start putting more minis out onto the field, and this is going to be very, very, very awkward for us to be able to win. He does have the Healing Ranger. The Healing Ranger has the 2nd and 3rd star upgrades here, so he is going with a Saint Ranger combination. What we have is we have a 3-star Wizard to slow down the anti-heal to be able to prevent us from getting taken out. You also have the Hog Rider getting more stuns. It's not really going to do anything here because he does get a Fisherman. He says oops, oops again, because he thinks he's going to win because of that play. The Princess goes off. The Princess doesn't get enough value because we have Grand Warden shields for days taking me out here, but it isn't going to be enough. Grand Warden continuing to shield up our entire army. Oops, back to you, baby, as the Grand Warden shields up. Let's go! Easy victory right there. All right, here we go. Game number 3, or should I say another one. 3 of the best games that I have played this week. This is going to be a weekly series on the channel. Jorge versus Enchatin. Skeleton King versus Monk. Skeleton King is one of the hardest matchups for Monk because it is undead. Most players who play Skeleton King also play the new upgraded buffed Witch, which is 3 elixir now, which makes it pretty difficult to be able to win. But let's see if we are able to navigate around this. Skeleton King taking me out here in round number 1. No big deal. I do have the upgrade though with my Monk, so I'm not too concerned. Round number 2, what I want to get out the Villager and put it behind the Monk. There it is. Villager's going to come out behind the Monk. You see how I am putting the Fisherman and the Hog Rider down on the field? The reason why I'm doing that is because I am able to get a higher % chance of getting the mini that I want if I put other minis out onto the field and then I sell them. The less minis there are in the pool to choose from when you re-roll, the higher the chance you will get what you want. Pro strats right there. If you didn't know that, that's going to win you a couple more games every single week. All right, round number 2, we do lose as well. Not really too sweating this right now. We don't see a witch yet. Everything is looking pretty good. It is pretty bad that we do lose the first 2 rounds. The next thing that I'm going to want to do here is I do kind of want to get down my Electro Wizard. We are going to upgrade my Villager here. It's not really the greatest scenario of all time, but do I want to go with a Hog Rider to the back line? That is what I do want, and that is what I am going to do. The Hog Rider's in a pretty safe spot here. It is going to go after the Archer, which is pretty big. Also, guys, clutch thing for each one of you. By the way, I also re-rolled there to make sure I got the 3rd star ability from the Hog Rider, so it would just stay alive for as long as possible in the back line. If you guys are playing, okay, if you guys are playing Clash Mini and you're playing backline troops, try not to put a backline troop in the position that he did. We'll show you that when this round is over, what I mean by that. So you see that he has his diffuser, which is, well, he sold his diffuser, let's put it that way. So that's not the end of the world. He did that. That was actually a good play from him. But if this diffuser was still in front of my Hog Rider, okay, he would not then be able to prince. If you have a prince, you're not going to be able to prince down my Hog Rider every single round for my Hog Rider going out and 100% hitting your Archer and getting to the back line. The fact that he sold it was pretty huge right there, so he could still prince me, so now I am kind of scared about that. We are going to continue this out here. We do have the E-Wizard. The Hog Riders just got to stay alive for as long as possible. That's how I'm going to try to win this match, is the Hog Rider staying alive. Hog Rider is going to clear out the Princess before the Princess supers. That is my number 1 objective here, is keeping alive this Hog Rider so the Hog Rider can keep clearing out his entire backline. Now, I see that he has 4 minis, and I also see that the 5th mini is his diffuser because he already played it. I'm no longer concerned or worried about a prince taking out my Hog Rider. So I could go with a Hog Rider. However, I do want C, and the C specialty is going to give me +2 starting energy. So I am going to get down the Swordsman, right? The Swordsman is down, and that's going to get me the +2 starting elixir. I move my Monk just a little bit here. The Hog Rider goes to the back line. We take out his Ice Wizard right off of the bat with the Fisherman. That was really the only target that I can hit 100%. That's why I did that. We're going to clear out his Princess before he does any damage. We're going to be able to take him out here, and that's going to be an easy victory here in round number 5. Huge clutch up versus a Skeleton King player.